we talked about this, I think it was last week, and it didn't take long for us to find out. It literally took days, and everyone in the chat was up on this. We talked about The Rock the other day, and we were like, "Hey, cool, Rock, you defended Joe Rogan. We don't rock with you like that, no pun intended." But the chat, everybody in the, I don't think there was one person in the chat that said, "Hey, I'm going to give Dwayne the Rock Johnson a chance." Remember, I think it was February 4th. Was it? No, was that Friday? Do I have the date here? That was, this article is from February 4th. It's 3 days ago. He praised Joe for his great response to the criticism that Joe Rogan has faced. He wrote in the comments, "Great stuff here, brother. Perfectly articulated. Look forward to coming on one day and breaking out the tequila with you." And we're like, okay. Didn't have much substance to it. February 4th, how it started. February 6th, how it's going. Dwayne The Rock Johnson ditches his support for Joe Rogan after the N-bomb clips. You might have seen this online. I'm not going to play that on YouTube, but there's a clip where Midas touch. I don't know. Scratch that. I don't know who did it. Put together, or Medium Midas or whatever they're called. I don't know. I don't. That's allegedly not from me. Some leftist organization allegedly put out a video clipping Joe Rogan saying the N-word with the hard ER. As soon as that came out, Dwayne The Rock Johnson started backpedaling like Andrew Yang. What I learned from this is, let me read a little bit more of this. There was the New York Times article, or author here, Don Winslow, tweeted at Dwayne Johnson. He said, "You're a hero to many people, using your platform to defend Joe Rogan, a guy that used and laughed about using the N-word dozens of times is a terrible use of your power." So he acquiesced. See, when The Rock defended Joe Rogan, it was a very empty defense. We didn't get any ideology. We didn't hear what his principles are. We didn't hear why. He never articulated, at least unless I missed it, he never articulated why he defended Joe Rogan. And that's what we need to do as people, media. I need you to articulate. Don't just say, "I support this person." Why? So let me give you myself, for example. I supported Joe Rogan, and I still do. And I'll tell you why. I supported Joe Rogan because I support free speech. If the government didn't put pressure on a private company, I would have no problem. Spotify can drop them. People can put pressure on Joe Rogan. What I don't like is the government playing their cards. They're showing their hand. They're saying, "We want you to do this, Spotify." And that not only sends a message to Spotify, it sends a message to every citizen, every social media platform, every other company. This is our ideology. So if you want to be in good graces with the establishment, you've got to be against Joe Rogan. So the hate against Joe Rogan was not authentic. You can't have it in a vacuum if the government does that. That's why it's the First Amendment. So maybe Neil Young was authentic. Maybe everybody was authentic in their reasoning for wanting to remove Joe Rogan. But that's not, the government messed that up for you. I have a right to say it wasn't in a vacuum. It wasn't authentic. I have a right to say it could have been influenced by the government. So I don't have a hate against Neil Young. I'm pointing at the government. You violated the First Amendment. That's why we have it. So we're not in this situation right now. So you heard all what I just said right there. Does any of that have to do with the N-word with the hard ER? What does the N-word with the hard ER do or change about what I just said as to why I would support Joe Rogan? What does the N-word with the hard ER have to do with Dr. Robert Malone and Peter McCullough, who came on his show? What does that have to do with anything? If you are offended by it and you don't like it, that's fine. But I'm articulating my opinion why. I don't know Joe Rogan. I don't care if he's racist. He's not my boy. I don't know. The problem, the thing that I wanted to look into more was the Planet of the Apes comment. That wasn't good. But that doesn't change. So that's why I look at Andrew Yang. I look at The Rock. You are betas. Articulate your point either way. So Don Winslow, that's where he put the pressure on him. I just read that. That's the actual tweet. That's him again, making the headlines, leading the mob. But look at this. Oh, so there's this racist rabbit hole we can go down now, right? So Vocal Distance, who was great on Twitter, posted this. So Don Winslow, you tried to get Joe Rogan canceled for saying the N-word. You tried to put pressure on The Rock. Let's go down this racial rabbit hole. If you want to play that game. So it turns out that in the context, like Joe Rogan, to my knowledge, I didn't listen to every podcast, but to my knowledge, he used the N-word with the hard ER in the context of relaying information, like somebody said it, for example. So Don Winslow, he used the N-word. He used it a lot in his writing. A very long thread. He had a thread of like 15 tweets, all with multiple pictures of Don Winslow using the N-word with the hard ER in print. So, publisher, should you drop Don Winslow? Don Winslow, where's your apology? I don't need an apology. That's your ideology. So in your ideology, you should apologize, right? I'm not going to show them, but if you click on the pictures, you'll see them. Follow Vocal Distance. Dope follow. Oh, let's keep on going. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You're using a derogatory term. I blocked it out. It's in the middle after the word turning. He said, it's not our fault you're turning. And he said he used a derogatory term that begins with a T that I don't know. I'm not in the LGBTQ community. I'm not against them. I'm not in it. So I can't speak for them. But it was a derogatory term to use. He's on video using it. Let's keep going down the rabbit hole. Let's take everybody down. I don't know. Who is Sherry Jacobus? I have no idea who she is. But look at the profile. Never Trump. Tells you a lot. How do you identify yourself? The first thing you put in your Twitter bio is hashtag Never Trump. Is that how you identify yourself? If you want to be against Trump, be against Trump. I'm just laughing at you if that's your ideology or your identity. That's the first thing you put in your Twitter bio. How am I going to look if I put Never Biden in my Twitter bio? What? Whatever. She used it with the hard ER. So we're going down this path. It's not about apologies. It's not about caring about Black people or the hard ER. It's the social pressure version of mandating a mask for obedience. That's why The Rock never provided ideology. He's like, I'm obedient. I'm in this club. It's disgusting. That's how you live, Rock? A lot of people would probably say, how could you, talking about me, call The Rock a beta male? Looking all rough and weak and The Rock is all cut. If would you say it to Rock in person in his face? Yeah, I'd say it in his face. And right after I said it, I'd be out like Charlemagne the God. Remember when he got jumped? Yeah, I would say it to his face. And then after I did that, I'd be out.
Drop, bro. Need a drop, baby. What's up? Come on. Let's get a drop.
And he's out. He's running. So I'm not arguing with that. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. That would be the look on my face after I called a Rock. Like, honestly, I don't know if you have kids here, but I just have to say it. Dwayne Johnson, that's bitch made stuff. You're bitch made. That's unacceptable. If you have a position, articulate it and stand behind it. You want to be president, bruh? Get the hell out of here. So after I said that to his face, I'd be out running like Charlemagne the God. I'm not stupid. He could bench press me with his pinky. I got it. But he's mentally fragile. He's a beta male in the mind. So you could, maybe he would run and catch me and then make quick work of me. That wouldn't change, Dwayne Johnson. That wouldn't change what's in your head. You're still weak. You're mentally fragile. You're a mental simpleton. You're a beta male. Let me know what you think.